Hello, I am Dr. Dina McCaffrey, President of Jefferson College. Welcome to our Facebook Student and Family Town Hall Q&A. We are glad to be able to address your questions and concerns regarding reopening for the fall semester. Approximately 100 questions were submitted, and we have worked to review and categorize questions and answers most appropriately. The health and safety of Jefferson College students and employees is a top priority here at the college. I have asked other administrators to join me in providing these answers. For questions unrelated to COVID, the appropriate college representative followed up with these individuals directly. Please keep in mind that we review information and analyze data on a regular basis. The information we are sharing is appropriate for our current situation and may be adjusted as needed. Let's get started.
Is it safe to come back to campus?
We are incredibly excited to welcome back students to campus for the fall and have been thoroughly engaged in both planning and campus modifications to ensure a safe environment for everyone. Some of the many precautions that we put in place to enhance campus environmental safety are additional deep cleaning of all facilities and high-touch surfaces, the use of hospital-grade cleaning and disinfecting supplies, the installation of hand sanitizer, mask, tissue stations at building entrances, the use of high-efficiency HVAC air filter systems in all buildings, designation of many one-way building entrance/exit points, the installation of plexiglass barriers and shields, the reconfiguration of classroom spaces to ensure safe distancing, and the requirement for everyone on campus to wear a face covering.
Will there be daily temperature checks for faculty, staff, and students?
We will not be performing daily temperature checks. However, students and all college employees will be required to read and complete a brief form acknowledging return to campus health guidelines.
Will the college close if there is an outbreak? How many positive cases will be required? Will the college help students or instructors with COVID testing?
Since conditions of the pandemic can change rapidly, we will work with and at a minimum to follow the guidance of the Jefferson County Health Department, CDC, and if necessary, other state and federal agencies in determining whether a closure of the entire college, a specific campus, or a specified building is warranted. COVID testing information is available through the Jefferson County Health Department and local healthcare providers, many of which provide free testing opportunities. As part of the college's return to campus plan, testing resources will be posted on the college's COVID website.
Will there be any consequences if a student or instructor contracts COVID and fails to alert the college?
Students who contract COVID and knowingly fail to alert the college may be subject to student disciplinary measures. Similarly, any college employee who tests positive and does not notify their supervisor or the Human Resources Department may face progressive disciplinary action.
Will there be social distancing and mask requirements? Will the college continue to require masks through the 2021 school year? If students or faculty forget their mask, will one be provided?
As we start the fall semester, masks are required by everyone at all times inside campus buildings, with some exceptions for pre-approved activities and programs. Students and instructors will be required to wear masks during class, again with some exceptions. Social distancing will also be enforced in all campus buildings and classrooms with a minimum of 6 feet where possible. These requirements will be in effect until further notice. Although individuals are expected to provide their own face coverings, the college will provide one complimentary mask per student. Safety welcome kits containing a Jefferson College cloth face mask, hand sanitizer, and information card will be distributed during the first week of classes. There will also be disposable masks in self-serve health stations located at building entrances.
Can students wear full face shields instead of masks?
Because the CDC does not recommend use of face shields for normal, everyday activities or as a substitute for cloth face coverings, students are required to wear a cloth or disposable face mask.
I'm allergic to masks. Will I be able to attend fall classes if I get a doctor's note?
Students who require ADA accommodations or resources should contact the Disability Support Services Coordinator, Christine Platter, by email at cplatter@jeffco.edu or by phone at 636-481-5600. 3169.
What are the consequences if someone does not wear a mask or wears it improperly? Will face coverings be enforced?
Any student who does not wear a mask or does not appropriately wear a face covering will be asked to comply with the college's safety protocols. Those who refuse or repeatedly fail to follow the guidelines will be subject to student disciplinary measures.
When will the fall semester begin?
We're looking forward to the fall when most classes begin the week of August 17th. We do have several 14-week classes that begin the week of August 31st and 8-week classes that begin the week of October 12th. Please check the start and end dates listed on the class schedule found on our website at jeffco.edu.
Will the fall semester require in-person attendance, or will we be able to use Google Meet?
Our instructional leadership team is working hard to prepare for a safe return to on-campus instruction this fall. Many of you have asked what that will look like. Many classes are scheduled face-to-face on campus with safety precautions in place. Some classes are scheduled in a live remote format where students join live class sessions online. Other classes are offered in hybrid delivery with half of the class meeting on one day and the other half meeting on a different day with additional online work. We've also expanded our online offerings. The information provided in the class schedule under the course notes provides important information regarding the delivery format. In short, multiple schedule options are available for students with varying levels of comfort and health risk. Be sure to double-check the course schedule.
Is there an option to take all classes online? How will lab courses be handled? Will students be required to be on campus for their general education classes or just their labs?
We have expanded our online offerings and have many options available. Lab classes and many other classes will be offered face-to-face. Programs and classes that require hands-on lab work will meet in person. Students may change their schedule at any time before the start of classes on August 17th. General education courses are offered in face-to-face, online, and hybrid formats. Students have the flexibility to choose whichever format best fits their specific needs. Lab courses are generally delivered face-to-face.
How will social distancing work in science labs?
We have taken many steps to ensure physical distancing. However, some activities, like lab work, may result in students working within 6 feet of each other. In these cases, it is particularly important to wear face masks, to wash your hands frequently, to sanitize workspaces, and shared equipment after use.
How will the Vet Tech program function regarding skills and work in person if the college closes down again?
Thanks to the many safety precautions in place, we do not anticipate closing down. However, in the event we are forced to close, our faculty are prepared to deliver online instruction and make up skills work when we are allowed to return to campus.
What are the plans for the music department, choir, and band? Will students wear a mask or social distance? Will rehearsals be virtual?
Our music faculty are working hard to provide on-campus practice as safely as possible. Students will be spaced out to allow for physical distancing and will wear face coverings as practical.
Do students enrolled in on-campus sections have the choice not to attend class in person without it affecting their attendance or grade? Will policies on absentees change for days missed due to COVID?
Students enrolled in face-to-face classes should plan to meet on campus as scheduled. Students may be given flexibility for absences due to COVID-related illness. The college is required to follow Department of Education guidelines regarding attendance and participation for students receiving federal financial aid.
How likely is it that the college will switch back to strictly online considering the rise in COVID cases?
The college has implemented many safety precautions to allow for on-campus instruction. We continue to monitor local, state, and federal guidance and will adjust instruction as required. Unfortunately, it's impossible to predict if another stay-at-home order may be issued. If we are forced to make that switch, we're prepared and ready to serve students online.
Will fees for taking online classes be waived for those who feel it is not safe to go back to in-person classes?
Fees for online classes will remain in place to provide technology and support for online instruction.
Will class sizes be smaller to adjust to social distancing?
In many cases, there will be fewer students in each class. In other cases, we have moved to larger classrooms that allow for the same number of students while maintaining physical distancing.
What cleaning procedures will be used between classes?
Classrooms will be stocked with hand sanitizer and alcohol wipes. Students will use hand sanitizer when entering and leaving, and will wipe down their spaces during the last few minutes of class.
Will there be plexiglass between students during in-person classes?
We do not have plexiglass between students in classes. Students will wear masks and use physical distancing to maintain safety in class.
Will ESL, English as a Second Language, classes be held this fall?
English as a second language classes will be held. Please see the class schedule for options and meeting times.
Will there be online options for students that have small children and may need to stay home?
Students that need to stay home to care for children should consider our many online courses. However, specific programs with hands-on work requirements will meet face-to-face.
Will area technical school students be allowed to drive to campus instead of taking a bus due to social distancing? If so, will they have to purchase a parking pass?
With approval from their high schools, area technical school students will have the option to drive themselves. They will park in the red lot near the Child Development Center. Parking passes will be obtained at the ATS office.
Are students allowed to bring drinks to class?
Students may bring drinks to class, but they must have a lid.
Will there be sanitation guidelines?
The college has always followed a rigorous daily cleaning regimen for all areas of the college, including classrooms, offices, restrooms, and all areas in between. In addition, our custodial staff spent additional time earlier this summer thoroughly disinfecting all areas of all campuses, both interior and exterior. In addition, filters in all heating and air conditioning units have been replaced with hospital-grade filters, the best the industry can offer. All cleaning products and chemicals used by college housekeeping technicians are CDC approved for safe and effective disinfecting and cleaning. Proper and safe application training of the chemical procedures are followed per manufacturer's guidelines by all housekeeping staff. Material safety data sheets are on file in the Building and Grounds Department office for review upon request.
How will computer labs be sanitized?
We've had several questions pertaining to extra cleaning in classrooms and computer labs. In addition to the additional disinfecting procedures noted above, computer labs, like classrooms, will be wiped down by students during the last few minutes of class. All classrooms, including the computer labs, will be stocked with alcohol wipes to wipe down the desks and computers, and hand sanitizer that students are encouraged to use upon entering and leaving the room.
What steps will be taken to clean classrooms between classes?
We will be reserving time before the end of the class period to allow students to clean their areas with the alcohol wipes provided by the college, so we don't feel that additional time will be needed between classes.
Is the college installing extra sanitation stations?
We have currently placed in service 32 sanitation stations throughout the campus buildings that are stocked with hand sanitizer, disposable masks, and tissues. We will be monitoring the usage and order more of these stations if necessary.
Will water fountains and vending machines be sanitized?
Some vending machines have been removed due to low usage. With regard to water fountains, we are in the process of replacing all of our water fountains with newer designed equipment that includes a bottle filler. These will both be safer and more environmentally conscious. The older style drinking fountains have been taken out of service, and the water fountain portion of the newer models are being taken out of service by a covered locking device.
Should I bring my own laptop to avoid touching classroom or lab computers?
It will not be necessary for you to bring your personal laptop to class, but you certainly can do that. The laptops and the classrooms will undergo extra disinfection as noted before.
What happens when a student tests positive for COVID?
Hello, I am Dr. Kim Harvey-Manis, Vice President of Student Services. We received many questions related to what happens if a student or employee tests positive for COVID. We have worked closely with the Jefferson County Health Department to develop our safety protocol and are also regularly reviewing CDC guidance. In the classroom, each student will have an assigned seat. Classrooms have been reconfigured as much as possible to ensure 6 feet of distance between all students. If a student tests positive for COVID, they should contact the Vice President of Student Services office and notify their faculty members. I will work with the student to identify where the student has been on campus and specifically in what areas has the student been within 6 feet of other individuals for at least 15 minutes. The student who tested positive will be required to quarantine, and if any students or employees were within 6 feet of the student for at least 15 minutes, CDC guidance states that these individuals should also quarantine for 14 days from the last day of contact with the student. In the event that a student is unable to attend classes on campus due to quarantine, they should work with their faculty members to determine what coursework may be completed remotely, as long as they are feeling well enough to continue coursework.
If a student tests positive and the class is required to stay home for 14 days, how does that impact attendance with FAFSA?
The college will follow U.S. Department of Education guidelines related to attendance and participation during the fall semester for those students receiving federal financial aid.
What happens if a college instructor or other employee tests positive for COVID?
If a faculty member tests positive for COVID, That course will transition to online, provided the content can be delivered online, and any students or other individuals who are within 6 feet of the faculty member for at least 15 minutes will be advised to quarantine for 14 days from the last date of contact with the faculty member. If other members of the campus community test positive for COVID, the same guidelines will be followed. We will identify where the individual has been on campus and with whom they have had contact within 6 feet for at least 15 minutes. The individual and any other affected individuals will be required to quarantine. Should there be an outbreak of positive COVID cases on campus, we will work with, and at a minimum, we will follow the guidance of the Jefferson County Health Department, CDC, and if necessary, other state and federal agencies in determining whether a closure of the entire college, a specific campus location, or a specified building is warranted.
If I get sick but do not have the means to test for COVID, do I still need to quarantine for a certain amount of time?
Any student who has symptoms related to COVID is encouraged to contact their healthcare provider, should stay home, and should contact their faculty members about completing remote work.
I have an underlying disease. Would it be better for me to stick with online classes during the fall semester?
If a student has an underlying disease, they should contact their healthcare provider for guidance on taking courses online versus in person. A variety of options exist for taking courses during the fall semester.
What should you do if a family member of a student or professor tests positive?
If a family member of a student or faculty member tests positive, the individual should follow guidance from the health department and CDC in regard to the need to quarantine.
How do you notify students that people have tested positive for COVID-19 without violating HIPAA protocols?
The college will work closely with the Jefferson County Health Department to ensure HIPAA compliance and to maintain the safety and well-being of our campus community.
Will students still be able to stay on campus? When will they know about Viking Woods housing availability?
The college recently made the decision to return to full occupancy in Viking Woods for the fall semester. Numerous safety measures are being implemented to promote the safety and well-being of all residents, including but not limited to mask requirements, limited occupancy in the clubhouse, limited occupancy in the laundry room, and a limited number of guests in apartments. Students are currently being notified if they are on a wait list and a room is now available for them.
Can incoming freshmen take a tour of the campus?
Campus tours are available at our main campus in Hillsborough. Students can schedule a tour by completing the form on our Visit Campus webpage at www.jeffco.edu/campus-tour or by calling the admissions office at 636-481-3226. If students prefer to visit our beautiful campus from the comfort of their own homes, they can check out the aerial tour and view the pictures and floor plans of our buildings that are included on the Visit Campus page.
When will students get their ID?
Students may visit enrollment services at Hillsborough or Arnold, as well as the library, during normal business hours to obtain their student IDs. Students should bring a photo ID with them. Effective for the fall semester, students will be required to wear their student IDs. Once a student completes the required student acknowledgement for a return to campus health guidelines, a sticker will be placed on the student ID to confirm completion. The college will be providing lanyards to all students during the first week of classes.
Is the bookstore open? When will students know what books they need for classes?
The bookstore is currently open. All required course materials, including textbooks, are listed on the official class schedule. They can be found by clicking the blue Books icon. Textbooks may be ordered online or in person at the Jefferson College Bookstore, located on the first floor of the Student Center and the Jefferson College Arnold campus. In advance of classes beginning, curbside pickup or home delivery can also be arranged with the bookstore.
Will the Child Development Center be open for child care to help student parents?
Child care options may be available at the Child Development Center on the Hillsborough campus for the fall semester. Please contact the center at 636-481-3299 for more information. Unfortunately, the center does not have the space or resources to offer additional programming.
Will there be fewer computers in the computer labs due to social distancing?
Open computer labs located in the Academic Success Center and the library will continue to be available. Measures have been put in place to ensure physical distancing. There will be fewer computers in the open labs. However, laptops are available for checkout through the library.
Will the Academic Success Center be available only online during the fall 2020 semester?
The Academic Success Center will be available online, the same as in the spring and summer terms. but we will also have face-to-face services. The services on campus will be handled differently than in the past. We will be maintaining physical distancing in the areas and will be incorporating technology so that the instructor can aid students without prolonged close contact. Students wanting assistance may have to wait in the hall if the room occupancy is at capacity.
What is the policy on library study rooms this semester?
A variety of study rooms will be available, including 3 small group study rooms and 8 individual study rooms. Study rooms and library computers must be reserved in LibCal or with the assistance of library staff. The library has a large variety of individual study spaces that do not require reservations. Call 636-481-3166 or email circdesk@jeffco.edu. Again, that's circdesk@jeffco.edu for more information or to see our reopening guidelines.
Thank you for joining our Facebook Student and Family Town Hall event this evening. We appreciate all of the questions received, and we hope our answers were helpful as you return to campus for the fall semester. Should you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact any of our presenters. Our contact information is as follows.